Now in this video, we'll verify the port security feature. We'll try to configure some switches with the port security option, and then we'll try to connect some multiple devices, and then we'll verify port security in this lab. So the first thing, let me give some basic idea on what we are going to do. I got my topology similar to what you can see in the diagram here. I got my switch, which is connecting port number 1 to one computer 192.168.1.1, and port number 2 is connecting to 192.168.1.2. So what we are going to do is we are going to limit the port security on this particular port to 2 MAC addresses, and then 2 MAC addresses means it's going to learn from this MAC address PC1, and then I'm going to connect another computer later on. I'll remove this connection here and then try to connect another PC 1.3, and which means the maximum MAC address learned is 1 and 2. And then I'm going to define the default violation rule, and the default violation rule is shut down here, and I'm going to remove this connection and then connecting another device. So which means the MAC address of 1 and MAC address of 2 is learned, and if it learns the third MAC address, it's going to simply put the port into error disabled state. So that's something what we are going to verify here, port security. Now the first thing, I'm going to the switch command line. On the switch command line, the first thing I'm going to configure the port security options. Now if you remember the port security commands what we have seen previously, the first command, we need to enable port security. Now remember, the port security can be enabled only on the static ports, which means it has to be either an access or dynamic. So the command will reject if it is in a dynamic desirable or dynamic auto modes. And then we need to enable port security, and then the default maximum MAC address I'm going to define as 2, and then I'm going to say that it has to bind the MAC addresses automatically to static entries, whatever the MAC address learned on that particular port, by using a sticky option. So let's go to the switch and configure the same. I'm going to interface F0 by 1. I'm going to say switch port security. Now the first thing, I need to configure an access port, and then I'm going to enable switch port security, and then I'm going to define the maximum MAC addresses can be learned on this particular port. I'm going to define as 2. We can even define 1, 3, whatever the number. In my scenario, I'm going to make it as 2, and then I'm going to say switch port security MAC address. Either we can define a manual MAC address. Now in my scenario, I'm not going to do it manually. I'll just go with a sticky option, which is going to do automatical dynamic binding of the MAC address, whatever learned on that particular port. And then I'm not going to define the violation rule, because the default violation rule anyway, it is sticky. So let's verify the same configuration in show running configs. You can see the configurations here. Now if you just try to verify the MAC table, show MAC address table. Now the default MAC table is empty. If it is not empty, we can also use clear MAC table, MAC-address-table. So the default MAC table is empty here. Now the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate the traffic from 1.1 to 1.2 for verification. I'll try to generate the traffic from 1.1 computer. This is my 192.168.1.1 PC, and 1.1 and 1.2 are connected in the LAN. You can see I'm able to generate the traffic, I'm able to ping. Now if you verify the MAC table, let me generate one more time. Now if you verify the MAC table, show MAC address table, you can see on port number 1 there's a MAC address PC1 is connected, and the MAC address PC2 is dynamically learned. I can see on the port number 1 there is an entry called static, because it has binded manually whatever the MAC address learned on that particular port. Now this is the entry which it makes automatically, because we have defined an option of sticky. It's going to manually bind this MAC address. And if you verify show port security, you can see the maximum count we have defined as 2 here, and right now it has learned 1 MAC address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the connection from port number 1, and I'll try to connect another device, port number 1.3 on port number 1. Now one thing I suggest you to do is, whenever you are making any connections, just enable spanning tree port fast. It will bypass the listening and learning stages, and it will make the port into immediate forwarding, or else it will take some time generally. Now if I generate a traffic, if I try to ping from 192.168.1.3 to 1.2, you can see I'm still able to communicate with the 1.2. Now in this scenario, what I did, I removed the connection from port number 1, PC1, and connected to PC3. If you go and check on the switch, if I give show port security, I can see the maximum count is 2, and right now the currently learned MAC addresses are 2. And you can verify the same thing. You can see the 2 MAC entries has been binded manually because there are 2 different MAC addresses learned. Now if it learns any third MAC address, because the maximum option we have defined as 2, it's going to simply ignore them, or it is going to put the port into error disabled state. Now let's try to connect the fourth computer. We connected 1.1 and we connected 1.3. I'm going to connect 1.4 now. I'll remove the connection from 1.3 and I'm going to connect the same port number 1 on the particular port. Now if you see a show IP interface brief, if you verify here, you can see the interface is changed state to down. And if you verify show port security, I can see the security violation is 1. One time it has happened, and right now the current security action it has to take whenever it violates the rule is shutdown state. Now that's the reason now the port is in not exactly in shutdown state, it's more like in a shutdown state. We call this as error disabled state. You can also use a command called show interface status. This command doesn't work in the packet tracer here, but this command shows the status of the interface F0/1 as error disabled state. Now the reason is because of the security violation here. Now what I'll do is I'll remove the connection from here and I'll try to connect back to any one of this port. Now you can see the port will be in shutdown state by default, even if it connected to the valid host. The reason is once it goes to error disabled state, if you want to make this port back to up, we need to say shutdown and no shutdown command. Now I can see now the port comes back to up. Now if I try to communicate from 1.1 to 1.2, I can still communicate here. Now similar way, if you try to remove the connection from here and if you try to connect to the 1.3, we can still communicate because these are the 2 MAC entries which are binded on port number 1, and if the traffic is coming from these 2 ports, it's going to forward, or else it is not going to do that. It simply put the port into error disabled state if it connects any other 2 devices other than these 2, because of the dynamic bindings which it has done based on the sticky option. Now the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable, let's go to the interface and I'll try to change the features. Port security violation I'm going to put into protect mode rather than into shutdown mode. Now the default is shutdown. Now in the protect mode, it is not going to put the port into error disabled state. Now I can see show MAC address table. Already on port number 1, we have 2 entries which are binded automatically. If it learns any third entry, it is going to, by default, it's going to put into shutdown state. But right now we change into protect mode, which means it should not put the port into shutdown state. Instead, it has to ignore the learning of those MAC addresses. Let's try connecting the device. Now in my scenario, if you go show port security, I can see already the violation, the maximum error has been reached. Now I'm going to remove the connection again, connecting to the third computer, that is 1.4. Now if I give show port security, let's generate some traffic here from 1.4. I'll try to ping to 1.2, which is connecting in the LAN. I can see from the 1.4, you can see the port is still up, but it's not able to communicate. You can see it's not able to communicate even if you wait for some time also. Now the reason is the current MAC address is learned. Now normally you'll see the count here, the protection, it is in the protect mode. Now if you verify the interface status, show IP interface brief, you can see the interface is still up. And if you verify the show MAC address table, I can see the 2 entries. If it learns any third MAC address, it is simply going to ignore those things. And the new device, whichever connects on the port number 1 other than this 2 learned, it's going to simply ignore the traffic. So which means that particular user will not be able to communicate if he connects. If I connect these ports back to this particular ports again, we can still able to communicate. Let's try to remove the connection from here, and let me try to connect to 1.1 PC. Now from the 1.1 I can still communicate here. Now the only difference between your protect and the shutdown is when you connect on the same port 2 connections, it's going to forward the traffic. If any third device is connected, it's going to simply put the port into shutdown state. But in case of protect mode, it is not going to put the port into shutdown state. It's going to ignore the traffic from the third MAC, whatever it is learned. Now similar way we can change to restrict mode. In the restrict mode, the only one extra thing it will do protect. Along with that, it is going to log the information. It is going to generate some logging to the external servers or on the console.